Hey kids, we're gonna have some fun today. We're making Mumbo Wings. What the hell are Mumbo Wings? If you've ever been to Washington, D.C., you know. And we're gonna show you how to make them today. They are absolutely fabulous. Started making them about 5 years ago when we first went to D.C. for a weekend. And there's two iconic foods in D.C. Mumbo Wings, which I'm gonna tell you all about, and half smokes, which are also awesome. And I'll share a little bit about those with you too. But let's get right to making delicious Mumbo Wings. Okay, so all I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna take the wing tip off these wings and cut them in half, making a drumette and then the other piece. Easy peasy. So now that we've got these wings cut into two pieces and the wing tips cut off, we're gonna marinate this chicken in the fridge. So I'm just gonna pour in a bunch of hot sauce. I'm using Louisiana hot sauce here. And we're gonna give it a good douse of salt and some fresh ground black pepper. Gonna mix that all around and put it in the fridge while we make the mumbo sauce. So now, while the chicken's marinating, let me show you how to make the mumbo sauce. And here's everything you're gonna need to make this fantastic mumbo sauce. We're gonna have 1.5 cups plus 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, a 1/2 cup of ketchup, a 1/2 cup of white sugar, 3/4 cup of pineapple juice, 1 1/2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, 3/4 cup of rice vinegar, 3 tablespoons of honey, 1 1/2 tablespoons of soy sauce, I use Kikkoman, 1 1/2 tablespoon of grated ginger, 3/4 teaspoon of cayenne, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. That's all you're gonna need. So now I've mixed all my ingredients for the mumbo sauce. Remember, I always put the full recipes at the end of every video so you can see the exact measurements. But I've just mixed this up here. I'm gonna bring it to a simmer and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. So a few years ago when Morgan and I first went to Washington, D.C., I do what I always do, is like, what's the big food in the area? And we came down to the two things, Mumbo Wings and half smokes. And for your half smoke, you have to go to Ben's Chili Bowl, founded in 1958 by Ben and Virginia Ali. Here's Morgan and I with Virginia. She was so kind to take her time with us. And here's what a half smoke looks like. They call it a half smoke because it's half pork and half beef. For all the research I did, is this recipe started out in Chinese restaurants, which makes sense because it's kind of a cross between sweet and sour sauce, like sweet and sour pork, and barbecue sauce. And here's our Mumbo Wings we got at Jerry's in Washington, D.C. So you can fry these any way you like. You can put them in a cast iron pan, however you normally fry things. You could probably air fry these, never tried it, but it'd be interesting. I've got a deep fryer here, and for me, it's the easiest way to go. And I'm gonna set my deep fryer for 365 degrees, which is about right for wings, I think. You know, my fried chicken, my America's Best fried chicken, I fry at 325 so that the outside doesn't get too brown before the inside gets done. But wings we can do at 365. So while my oil is heating up and my mumbo sauce is simmering over here, I'm gonna quick put the batter together here. It's just gonna be 1 cup of flour. I'm gonna take 1/4 cup of cornstarch. That'll make them a little more crispy. And I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of Creole spice. I'm using my own Lula's Creole spice. If you're in the area, you can always pick some up at 209 West Main, but if not, just Tony Chachery's, or I think there's Slap My Mother-in-Law. I like that one. Any kind of Creole seasoning. Sauce has been simmering now for about 20 minutes, and it's good to go. Let's fry some chicken. So all we're gonna do here is I've pulled these wings out. I like to pull chicken out of the fridge a half hour to an hour before I'm actually gonna fry it. I think it just cooks more evenly. All I'm gonna do is take these chicken wings that we've marinated, drop them into the seasoned flour, and straight into the deep fryer. I'm gonna do about 8 of these at a time so that we don't overcrowd it, and they're gonna take about 8 minutes. So as you're frying these, you wanna make sure they get to at least 165. You don't want them over 180 or so. I always told my cooks 170 because if you temp them at 165. Maybe there's a little spot in them, but still at 158, and that's no good. So I try to get all my chicken to 170. All right, this has been 8 minutes. Let's give them a little check here. They look fantastic, and they are done perfectly. I'm going to plate these, show you how we plate them. I'm going to eat them. And I'm just going to cover these wings with this delicious mumbo sauce. And there you go, mumbo chicken, one of my very favorite fried chicken dishes. I think I forgot how good these things are. Thanks again for watching another exciting episode of Scratch Cook with John. I gotta go. Spicy, saucy, delicious. You gotta make these. Thanks for watching.